embrace the new force.
Dada, Kwame Tevia.
Kelvin Taylor, me pacho.
Kamitelia.
Dada Kwajo Taylor. Yamin Shrao, Dada Kwame Taylor, Kofi Taylor, Kojo Taylor, wherever you find yourself. God bless you. All right. Thank you very much for all the things you've said about John Dramani Mahama and his policies and what he is going to be doing for the people of Ghana.
Very much for being part of today's show. And it's all about policies and policies and policies. And over the weekend, John Dramani Mahama spoke to Ghanaians on Facebook. Young Ghanaians were excited. The youth were excited. He came on Facebook, shared a few things with Ghanaians, especially the young people who are teachers. We have some who are nurses. We have young people who want a government that they can trust, people who want a leader they can believe and respect, a leader who does not lie, a leader who is not a bootlicker, a leader who is not a joker, a leader who can be taken serious. John Dramani Mahama provides all these things. And over the weekend, he showed his depth when it comes to governance and also politics. He came back and told us a lot of things that he has under his sleeves that he will let us all enjoy when the NDC is voted back into power. Tonight, what we'll be doing is taking our time to break it down for you to have a clear understanding of what John Mahama wants to do and how we are all supposed to also help him do it. It's all about voting these dumb heads out of government, these corrupt idiots out of government.
Yeah, it was sure.
This election is like no other in the history of Ghana. It is an election between Ghana and the new Patriotic Party administration. It is an election for change, to reset Ghana's narrative and effect a course correction from our disastrous trajectory. This change is ordained by God. It is ordained by God to relieve our people from the hardship and poverty that has been inflicted by President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia's reckless administration. That change will put Ghana back on a path of progress and prosperity, enabling us to build the Ghana we want and create well-paying jobs for the young people of this country through the 24-hour economy initiative and many other novel policies to be outdoored in the NDC manifesto soon. This change will also see the most far-reaching and detailed investigation of the many allegations of corruption and scandals leveled against public officials and their families and friends. This change will help to abort this administration's plan to foist the pliant vice president on us, to cover up for them, and thereby escape the searing scrutiny of accountability.
Corruption in Ghana in general are from these two political parties, because you have been in power on and off for over the years, and we are sick and tired of that.
There's a rising feeling of frustration and anger bubbling up amongst our young people. Justifiable anger and frustration against this failed administration. It is anger against the economic mismanagement, the hardships, the widening inequalities in our country, and the unprecedented corruption that has become the signature of this government. And yes, you have every right to be angry and disappointed in this government. It is understandable because this government has received more funds than any other government in the history of our country, including the windfall that they got from the COVID-19 pandemic, which they willfully mismanaged. The anger of the young people of Ghana is perfectly understandable because they face a real and present danger of unprecedented permanent unemployment if things do not change dramatically.
The anger that is bubbling up in the youth of Ghana now is not as a result of the recent disaster that has been created in our country, but it's as a result of the disaster that you and your party, you and your ministers have created, including this current government. All the disasters that you have created is what is making the young people of Ghana right now full of frustration and full of anger that is bubbling in us. It is not because of the current mess that this government has made, but as a result of the messes you guys have created over the years for the youth. Not thinking about the youth, but thinking about yourself. Now the youth of Ghana are arising. We are awakening from our sleep. The youth of Ghana are saying to you that enough is enough. We are tired of your lies. The young people of Ghana are saying that enough is enough. The young people of Ghana are sick and tired of all this debt that has been accumulated.
Notwithstanding all these socioeconomic difficulties, the young people continue to observe the opulence of the administration's officials and their families, chartering private jets at $20,000 an hour for trips that our own Falcon executive jets could have done. And as the Minister for Defense explained it, because it had no shower for presidential baths. Ghana's youth have further experienced how a minister could stash millions of dollars in her home. And only God knows the full extent of Ghanaians taxpayers' money that is stashed away by many others in this Akufo-Addo and Bawumia-led government. But I say to the good people of Ghana that working with Ghanaians and their international and anti-corruption partners, we shall do all that is humanly possible to retrieve such wrongly acquired wealth.
Corruption that has been happening in our country. You are talking about corruption in the MPP, not forgetting about the corruption that was happening when you were once the president of our Republic of Ghana. Ghanaians don't have short memory. We remember exactly what happened with the JIDA scandal. We remember exactly what happened. One of the most high-profile corruption scandals involving the NDC occurred during the administration of President John Dramani Mahama. In 2016, an investigation by Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice Stretch found that Mahama had received a Ford Expedition vehicle as a gift from a Burkinabe contractor who had been awarded government contracts. The Stretch report concluded that Mahama had violated the country's gift policy and recommended that he declare the vehicle to the state, which he eventually did. In addition to the Ford Expedition scandal, the NDC has also been implicated in other corruption scandals, including the infamous Ghana Youth Employment and Entrepreneurial Development Agency JIDA scandal. In this scandal, it was revealed that government officials and private individuals had embezzled millions of dollars from the youth employment program funded by the government. Furthermore, the NDC has been accused of using state resources for partisan political activities, such as using state funds to finance party campaigns activities. This has raised concerns about the misuse of public funds for political gains. Teachers who agree to serve in rural school will be paid 20% of their salary as an incentive.
Now, Mahama say obi chitum se opeso chadi we krasia, his government will have to create 20% incentive in salary edema nipa no. Sene be nipa no be say aban bi aba. In fact, upon all that I am doing here now, megin se obi hu no. There is a reason for me to be happy and to be ready to go here and sacrifice for Ghana.
Policies that we need that will solve these problems. Why teachers don't want to go? One, they don't have electricity in those rural areas. Children are still in this current modern world. We still have children sitting under trees to study, and you want to give 20% of teachers' salary as an incentive for them to go to those areas to teach. When it's raining, they have to pack their bags. School closes.
Extraordinary times require extraordinary interventions for extraordinary results.
Extraordinary times requires extraordinary interventions for extraordinary results. as said by John Dramani Mahama. We are in extraordinary time that we need extraordinary government. Somebody who is extraordinary. Somebody whose actions are extraordinary. Somebody who is already working out things, who is already on the ground. A young and vibrant, energetic person, extraordinary person who is bringing liberty, dynamics into our governance. Extraordinary person who says that he is not a politician. Extraordinary person who says that I am not going to promise you anything, but together we are going to build our nation. Extraordinary individual who doesn't have a PhD, but he has been able to fight through the system, the thick and tough of the system, to make life a better one for himself and for the people around him. Extraordinary times like this requires extraordinary individual like Nana Kwame Bediako-Chera. Extraordinary times like this requires extraordinary entrepreneur. Extraordinary time like this requires extraordinary individual like Cheddar for us to have extraordinary results. Not extraordinary leaders like NDC, the MPP. We are tired of all these people. Black of Natela, Black of Natela, Black of Kutela, Kofi. All right. I hope that you have reason for supporting NDC and you have a reason to hate the change that is coming. But I'm sorry. NDC, giving the mandate to NDC to come back to power again is a dream that will never come into a reality in this 21st century. It will take a miracle for NDC to come to power again.